When should I use Plant Trust? Can I use Dimension and Gallery in my flower bed? And it's spring. Where do I start? Folks, we've got answers to these questions and more coming up on the first episode of the season for Garden Sense. Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Well, folks, it seems like we haven't made a video in months, and then I checked the calendar, and the last video we did was way back in early November of last season. So it's been a while, and let me just say that we are really excited to be back for the 2025 season. Now, the emails have started to trickle in. It hasn't been too heavy yet, but I have a feeling after this video, we're really gonna start seeing an influx in our inbox. So we've actually selected 4 emails that we want to review with here today. So buckle up, everybody. Let's jump right in. The first question is from Chris. Tim, it's time again. So where do I start? I need to overseed for sure. And what schedule should I follow for all the pre-spring lawn maintenance? Any guidance you can provide would be appreciated. All right, so in terms of what to put down now, let me just remind everybody that if you go to our website, rosensonline.com, up in the top navigation, you'll actually see a button that says Lawn Calendar. Now, when you click that button and scroll down the page, you'll see that we've actually chunked out the months of the year to tell you when you should put down product and what that product is. Now, obviously, you don't necessarily need to put down all of the product that you see under a certain month or for a certain time of year, but these are all of the products that you may want to consider. So to get started, obviously, with March being right around the corner, we want to look at getting down Turf Trust lawn fertilizers. We want to get down Gallery, and then in that early April timeframe, we want to make sure that we put down Dimension. Now, lucky for you, we actually have our Turf Trust Triple Play going on over at rosensonline.com right now, which offers really, really big savings. In addition, you can put down Kickstart now, and once things really start to warm up, depending on where you are here, it's going to be more end of March, early April. You may even be able to put down some weed killers. So again, what I would recommend that you do is go to rosensonline.com, click Lawn Calendar, and then scroll down on that page. Now, so you don't always have to reference the website, we also have a link that when you click on it, it'll open a PDF that you can go ahead and print. And again, it kind of operates the same way as the website. You just go down by month or by season, and it'll tell you the products that you should be ordering. The next question is from Jim. Hello, Tim. Our local master gardens are quick to point out that February is great for pruning. However, they never mention the best time to fertilize plants, especially those pruned. When do you recommend that we use Plant Trust here in coastal North Carolina? So in terms of when to use Plant Trust, it frankly all depends on the type of plants that you are applying it to. Now, Plant Trust is really geared towards 2 types of plants: trees or shrubs, bushes, right? Now, there are also other variations of those trees and those shrubs that matter in terms of when you want to fertilize. For example, if it's a deciduous tree, which means that it loses its leaves in the fall, ideally, what you want to do is put down Plant Trust in the fall, because what's going to happen is those plants are actually going to absorb that nutrition and hold it over winter, and then make it available to the plant in the early spring. And so that's where you're going to see those early buds, and the foliage is really going to burst out, bright green in that very early spring. If it's an evergreen tree or an evergreen shrub, that's when you're actually going to want to go ahead and use it in the springtime, because that's the best time to fertilize. Now, if you have other trees or shrubs in your garden that are flowering, or maybe in some cases produce fruit like crab apples, things like that, you're actually going to want to use Garden Trust and not use Plant Trust. So again, Plant Trust is for your trees and your shrubs. for your deciduous trees and shrubs or your evergreen trees and shrubs, while Garden Trust is going to be for anything that flowers or produces some type of fruit. So if you want to send me the list of plants in your garden, I can tell you when the best time to fertilize with Plant Trust or potentially Garden Trust. But the answer to your question is it 100% just depends on what you have in your garden in terms of when you should be using Plant Trust. The third question is from Bob. Hi Tim, can I use Gallery and Dimension on parts of the flower garden that are planted with perennials and bulbs? So you can definitely use Gallery and Dimension in your gardens. We just got to make sure that we time it just right. What you cannot do is put seed in your flower beds and then put Gallery or Dimension down right away, because Gallery and Dimension create a chemical barrier on the surface that prevents seeds from germinating, and ultimately it's going to kill whatever you put in the soil. Now, if you have put in your bulbs, as an example, and they have already broken through the soil surface, then you can go ahead and put down Gallery and Dimension all around it. The other thing you got to be really careful of is to make sure that you don't get any of the granules on any of your desirable plants, because it can absolutely damage them and it may even kill them depending on what the plant is. So again, as long as you have, established shrubs, established flowers, whatever's coming up from the bulbs, again, as long as it's broken through the soil surface, you can absolutely put down Dimension and Gallery in your garden bed and things will be okay. Just as a reminder, be careful not to get any of those granules on the plant, because that can cause damage. If you happen to sprinkle some on and it sticks to a leaf, make sure you get it off those leaves as quickly as possible so that it doesn't cause any damage. I have used a Gallery in my garden bed. It works really, really great. Folks, you just need to think of Gallery and Dimension as a much higher quality product to something like a preen. Preen is okay, it does what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't really do it effectively and it wears out pretty quickly. Gallery and Dimension will actually last much, much longer and be a much more effective product to use in your garden. The final question for today is from Gary. Tim, I am in the rural part of western Loudoun County and took pity on the deer this past year by not harvesting any, and my plants paid dearly. The ligustrum bushes were destroyed. The rhododendrons were eaten back to the height the deer could reach, standing on their hind legs. They've even gone after the hemlocks. So, can an early application of Plant Trust bring them back? So let me get this straight. You allow some of the deer to live this past hunting season, and they say thank you by eating the plants around your home? Something tells me that that's not going to be the case this coming hunting season. So, hey, look, I'm really sorry for what you went through. Unfortunately, the plants that you mentioned are food sources for deer, especially when food gets pretty scarce. Now, in terms of your question, if you can put down Plant Trust, the answer is yes. For your ligustrums, for your hemlocks, you can definitely put down, Plant Trust, and it should really help those, plants and trees come back strong. Just remember though that depending on the damage, it might look a little funny and it might take until, this time next year for those trees, those shrubs to really start to come back the way we want them to in terms of just the overall shape. So don't be discouraged. I'm really sorry that happened, but you can absolutely put down Plant Trust. Now, you also mentioned your rhododendrons. You actually don't want to use Plant Trust for your rhodies. You want to go ahead and use Garden Trust. In fact, you want to use Garden Trust for any of your, trees, your shrubs, anything that flowers. You want to make sure that you use Garden Trust. And again, in this case, you can absolutely put it down right now. And as always, you can find Plant Trust and Garden Trust over at rosensonline.com. All right, everybody, just a couple final thoughts here for this initial video of the 2025 season. Folks, right now going on over at rosensonline.com, we have our Turf Trust Triple Play. Folks, we've been running this promotion in the early spring for a couple of years now. It's been wildly successful for us because what we've done is actually bundled the three products that you need the most right now. We have taken the Turf Trust fertilizers, we have taken Turf Trust broadleaf weed control with Gallery, and the Turf Trust crabgrass control with Dimension. We've bundled them together, we've cut the price, and you're going to qualify for free shipping. So when you pick up the Turf Trust Triple Play right now, you are going to save a boatload of cash, and that's really important for everybody. So head over to rosensonline.com, take advantage of the Turf Trust Triple Play. They come in packages for 5,000 square feet as well as 10,000 square feet. Now, folks, some of you should have received the email from us a couple of days ago promoting the free Kickstart initiative that we have going on over at rosensonline.com. And it's really, really simple. We just wanted to say thank you for all of you who place really large orders with us each and every year, and we wanted to give something back. Now, you already know that when you spend $100 at rosensonline.com, you get free shipping. What we wanted to do is give you something more. So, for every order that comes in over $200, we are going to throw in a free bottle of our Kickstart product. Now, you know how much we love Kickstart. We talk about it every single episode because it is so versatile. However, if you go to spend $300 on an order at rosensonline.com, we're actually going to give you a second free bottle of Kickstart. So, again, this is just our way of saying thank you and for rewarding you for spending the money that you do with us over at rosensonline.com. Now, I've gotten several emails from people asking about the grass seed. Folks, we have our order for Barenbrug RTF Turf Saver, and it should be coming in either end of this week or very early next week. So if you are in the market for grass seed, just go ahead and hang tight. More is coming. Folks, as always, we really appreciate all the time that you spent with us today, and we hope that the information you get from these videos is always incredibly useful for you. I hope, everybody, that you have just an amazing rest of the week. God bless.